According to the California Department of Food and Agricultural Statistics dated in 2012, the agricultural segment of California's economy produced over $42.6 billion of income for the state, which made up 21% of their $2 trillion economy. To put that into perspective, the CIA World Factbook of 2014 lists the GDP for all the countries in all the world. And California's agricultural income is more than the GDP of North Korea, Kyrgyzstan, and Kosovo combined. With that in mind, it's easier to understand why this drought is on the forefront of most Californians' minds. Because without water, crops won't grow. I would like to explain to you a little bit more today about how severe the drought is in California. By doing that, I will first discuss exactly what a drought is, followed by why this drought is particularly bad, and wrap it up with a few different ways that California has begun conserving water. So what exactly is a drought? Well, unfortunately, there's no one clear definition of what a drought is. But the California Department of Water Resources states it the best they can as a condition of water shortage for a particular user in a particular location. Now, what this means is that a farmer may experience a drought as lower than average rainfall, whereas people living in a subdivision near the farm may not experience the same drought he is because they get their water sources from an aquifer. Droughts are a natural disaster that occur very slowly over time, and it's very difficult to determine when it begins or when it ends as it affects different people in different ways. So why is this year's drought particularly harsh? Well, 2014 has been one of the driest years on decades for California, and parts of Northern California have received less than 50% of their annual rainfall, and this is on the heels of 2 previous years with lower than average rainfall. Groundwater levels have dropped more than 10 feet this year in certain parts of California, and the California Department of Water Resources estimates that 6.81 million people that are dependent on groundwater as their only source of water are at risk for not having enough. A study in July of 2014, funded by the California Department of Food and Agriculture, UC Davis, and the California Department of Water Resources, puts the cost of the 2014 drought in terms of lost crops, livestock, jobs, and the additional price of pumping groundwater at $2.2 billion, or a 5% loss in agricultural revenue. So what are the possible ways that people in California have begun conserving water? Well, there have been drastic measures that have been taking place. The San Francisco Gate reports that the State Water Resource Control Board has recently authorized fines of up to $500 a day for something as simple as overwatering your lawn and letting the runoff go onto the sidewalk. Effective August 1st of this year, state regulators are allowed to fine urban water agencies $10,000 a day if they fail to implement water conservation plans. And Governor Jerry Brown has called on each Californian to reduce their water usage by 20% to help stretch the dwindling water supplies. So in conclusion, I hope you were able to understand better the drought situation in California. You should now know what California considers a drought, what makes this year's drought in California so significant, and a few ways that California is going about trying to mitigate the effects of the drought.